So I really want to give you some idea about how to test Facebook ads creatives. Now, there are two scenarios when you are testing Facebook ads creatives. Now, I mean, one scenario is you have more budget to play with. And the other situation is you have a more lean budget to play with. So it really depends. So one scenario is when I have, let's say when a client comes to me and say that I want to spend like $10,000 in the next 2 months, and I really want to make sure that I'm actually spending on the best bet, meaning you don't want to waste time or waste money on the wrong creative. They may not get you the results that you want. So in that kind of scenario, I would do A/B split test. So let's say if I'm spending $10,000 in the next 2 months, I'll probably, like spend $2 to $3, even $500 for a week or two to really test a few rounds on all the creatives that I get to determine, the better creatives based on this A/B split test. You have to understand when we do A/B split test, we actually send 2 ads unbiasedly into a totally different set of audience. And from there, we can get a very good so-called feedback from the system itself to know which creative is working better. I do this when I'm actually having a bigger budget, meaning I want to make sure that I'm betting on the right creative for the entire campaign period for the next 2 months, for example, because I'm spending quite a lot. I want to make sure that I would actually use A/B split test. And only test creative. The rest of them, I don't think is really that important. And when I say test creative, you make sure that these creatives that you are actually running to test are distinctively different. You do not just create 2 ads that are similar, only changes in background or something like that, which is not very significant differences. The test may not be meaningful. So you test something that is really distinctive, then it's meaningful to do that. Now, the other scenario is if you have a leaner budget, meaning like, let's say, for example, if you plan to spend $10 to $50 a day and you want to make sure that you want to get the result out of it, but still you want to know which creative works better for you. Now, when it comes to that kind of situation, my best way of doing this is, okay, now this is not the best way. I'm just saying this is my best way. I'm just going to give you how I would do this, how I will approach the situation when I'm facing linear budget, but I want to also know which one works better. In this situation, I would recommend that you keep all the ads within the same ad set. Meaning you create one campaign, maybe 2 to 3 ad sets, depending on how you want to actually segregate the budget. Each ad set, you give them at least, let's say if you spend $50 a day, try to split it. Let's say if you max not more than 2 ad sets, 25 each, then it will be meaningful. And you put not more than 5 ads within the same ad set. In fact, 5 is the maximum. Ideally, control it within 3. So let's say 2 ad sets, each one you have 3 ads. And make sure these 3 ads are distinctively, it could be similar, but I always like to test different direction, meaning this is with human, this is with the product as a center and front, this is the video and stuff like that. You put 2 to 3 ads within one ad set and run for at least 1 week. You get what I mean? So after 1 week, do not interfere before the week ends. Unless it's really crappy, you're not getting anything back, then of course. But you have to understand, Facebook ads takes time to learn. And especially nowadays, I really do not encourage, too much interference, especially in the first 1 or 2 weeks. So if you want to do some interference, at least give it a 7-day data. Do not adjust your campaign prematurely without really having enough data to make decision. So give it a 7-day and come back. You usually would see, although let's say when you have 3 ads within the same ad set, you have to understand not all 3 ads are going to get the equal, so-called equal audience, so equal budget distribution. Let's say if you spend 25, not everyone is going to get $8. You get what I mean? Some will spend 15. The other one will spend maybe just 2 to 3. The other one will spend maybe 5, 6 or something like that, which is normal. But then again, even that little spend, we still will be able to determine on a few things like, first, we look at the CTR. Higher CTR means the ads are more receptive among the audiences, meaning they have better possibility of capturing attention. CTR means people see the ad and take action. So the higher CTR means it actually gathers you more action, which is a good thing because down the road, actions means possible results, right? So from there, we will determine and say that, oh, okay, now say this is with the one with the higher CTR. Does it get more results? If it's a higher CTR and it gets more result, then this could be the possible winning one. And from there, we actually, eliminate those underperforming ads gradually, at least weekly. Okay, if it's not very significantly difference between all of them, then we give it another week, we determine again. So do not be too obsessed about creative testing, but understand what's more important to your campaign. Sometimes really it's about timing, sometimes you got to be patient, and sometimes it's really, yes, there are chances where you will just put it and immediately you see a winner, and congratulations, that cuts you a lot of so-called unnecessary learning. With that, focus on that one and scale all the way. But having said that, what I really want to highlight here is, if you're asking this question, what I want to highlight here is creative is not the only thing that determines the effectiveness of your Facebook ads campaign. There are many aspects. Ad is one thing, audience targeting is one thing, the entire customer is another thing. Because when it comes to optimization, a lot of people, in my opinion, pay too much attention on the ad side, the creative, the audience targeting, and they always believe that this is the one that gets them the result, but they never really pay much attention on the entire journey. Like, I have seen so much of these cases. They try to create a lot of creative and test and test and test and test, but the moment we audit the entire campaign, we realize the creative was doing all right. It was getting clicks coming in, but the problem here is when people land, they don't proceed to the next step. They don't start browsing products. They don't start adding to cart. They don't convert. At the end of the day, it is actually, the after the click that has problem to fix. But when you don't know how to look at this entirely and draw the meaningful number together to help you make decision, you tend to act blindly, or so-called, impulsively, based on whatever you have in mind, your gut feeling and all that. When it stops working, you believe it's the ad, you got to do new ad, you got to new ad creative, but you don't really understand what's really not working in your campaign. So that leads to a lot of unnecessary stress. You constantly in the hamster wheel of keep creating and keep failing and all that. You don't really have a framework that works for your business. That's why I always encourage Facebook advertisers to learn to look at the entire thing in a more bird's eye view, and learn how to understand the customer journey and learn how to optimize the right thing. And then take your campaign, fix one thing at a time to take your campaign to the next level. So if you have this problem trying to understand the customer journey, and you want to build one dashboard to help you understand the entire so-called performance of every aspect of your campaign, I would actually recommend that you scan this QR code. This will take you to my Fiverr gig, where I will audit your campaign for 30 minutes. So what we would do is we will actually have a Zoom call. And then after that, I would actually, please share your screen. I will look through the entire ads and will build your dashboard for you. Every business is unique. I will build your dashboard and I will teach you how to understand the metrics and analyze them. So moving forward, you can always look back to the dashboard. And from there, after 30 minutes, I would actually exactly tell you what's working, what's not working on your campaign. And I will build you a plan on how you can potentially take your campaign to the next level. Maybe I would say, let's fix the button on your website. It's not getting people to take action. Let's fix the checkout flow. Or I probably will say that, yes, it's really the ad problem. Let's fix this thing. So I'll give you the plan that you need to take your campaign to the next level. So if that's what you want, okay, scan this QR code, buy me a dinner, and I look forward to work with you real soon.